Who's ready to start traveling again? Nope, just me? Well, while you are waiting to get back out there, you could be earning travel rewards points that could help you pay for most or all of your travel. So I'm going to share with you my top picks for travel rewards cards for this year and how to get them. Hey there, my name is Jen and I am a personal finance writer and creator of Modern Frugality, and I love travel hacking. It is so frugal. Purchases that you are going to be making anyway go onto a travel rewards credit card, build up points, and you're able to take those points and use them on travel. It's great. Or certain credit cards for rewards. I've erased a lot of purchases. It's been an amazing experience the last 4 years gaming the system. So I want to share what I've learned with you and share a method for travel hacking if you are just starting out. Now, I'm going to share my top 4 cards for beginners. They don't necessarily have to go in order because some of them are time-based, and I'll let you know kind of when you should plan to get which one. But before I start, I want to give a big disclaimer. 2 big disclaimers. First is your credit score has to be good or excellent to travel hack. Sorry guys, these cards are for good and excellent credit, and sometimes excellent, but I have seen good credit get in there with my husband and I. So that's kind of the first disclaimer. It has to be 700 plus, preferably 740 plus. The other one is that you have to pay the card off every single month. I'll say it again. You have to pay off your credit cards every single month, or it negates all of the benefits. Credit card interest is insane, and you can easily spend $1,000 in a year just on interest. And so at that point, you're not saving any money on travel. You're essentially just paying the bank for your travel instead of paying the business that you would be paying. And let's be honest, the bank doesn't need any more of your money. I'd rather just pay it to the actual airline or hotel at that point. Another thing is you don't want to spend on the card just to get the bonus points. And what I mean by that is if you are spending on extra stuff that you don't need or wouldn't buy anyway, that's also not a good method for travel hacking. We put as many of our necessary expenses on our card, so you can't put your mortgage or your utilities, but you could do your phone, internet, groceries, eating out when it's scheduled and budgeted. Like literally anything that's on the budget goes on the credit card, and then we pay it all off once a month, and that's how we do it. So make sure that your budgeted expenses besides your rent or mortgage and utilities can make the minimum spend on these cards, because the welcome bonuses are really how to travel hack. You want to make sure that you can get those bonuses without buying extra stuff that you wouldn't normally, or that you time the card so if you have a big purchase, you can get the card and put it on that so that you make the minimum spend. So those are the 3 big disclaimers. I know I said 2, but those are the big ones when you are getting started with travel hacking. Now for the fun part. Which cards are best? People get in and they get these really crappy cards with these really crappy bonuses, and they're like, oh my gosh, rewards! And they don't realize what they're missing out on. So I am gonna give you my top 4, possibly 5 cards. And you will get these over the course of typically a year or more. This isn't something you bang out one after the other. Some people do, but again, we're not trying to spend extra to get these travel rewards. We're just trying to optimize what we're already doing. The first one is the Chase Sapphire Preferred. And so this is different from the Chase Sapphire Reserve. When you go to look at it, you'll see both. The Reserve has an annual fee of like $450 or something. No, we're doing this for beginners, so we're going for low annual fees. The annual fee on this one is $95, and I have seen it waived the first year. I'm not going to go too much into what the bonuses for each card are because they change so frequently. But the ones that I'm going to mention have traditionally always had really great bonuses, even when they're not on promotion. So I'll give you the minimum that I've seen, and just know that it could be even more than what I've seen, what I'm saying here today. Now, when you get into travel hacking, you'll see that Chase cards are kind of like the upper echelon of travel hacking cards. They have a lot, they have co-branded cards with other like hotels and airlines, and when you get like a Chase Sapphire card, the points you get, called Ultimate Rewards, transfer out to a ton of different partners. But they also have the Ultimate Rewards portal where you can book just kind of like an Expedia or a TripAdvisor. So you can book kind of anywhere using these points. So the reason they're so great, and I recommend starting with them, is because they're so flexible. You don't have to have any airline or hotel loyalty to use these. And actually, when you do book through the Ultimate Rewards portal, the points are worth 25% more. So it is a great deal, very flexible, and that's why I say Chase Sapphire Preferred, first card to start out with. Now, as far as what you're gonna need to do to get the welcome bonus, you're gonna have to spend $4,000 within 3 months of signing up for the card. So literally the day you get approved is the account sign up date. So from 3 months of that date, you have to spend $4,000 on the card. That's why I said you have to make sure that it fits with your budget. And once you do that, you will get a reward of about 50,000 points. Right now it's around 60,000, but that kind of transfers to like 1-to-1 if you're not spending it on the Ultimate Rewards portal. That's $500 that you get to spend on travel, essentially. And there's a $95 annual fee, so it's more like $400, but if you handed me $400, I'd take it. Card number 2 is the Capital One Venture. So this is really similar to what I said with the Chase Sapphire Preferred, but this one's from Capital One. And instead of getting points, like Chase has Ultimate Reward points, you can erase your travel purchases with the Capital One Venture. So this one I like for Airbnb, and if I want to book a cruise, I would sign up for the Capital One Venture because the Chase portal doesn't have as many deals on cruises, and it doesn't have Airbnb in it. So you can't really use it for that. But if I'm booking a trip that I know I'm going to be using Airbnb, use the Capital One Venture. You can erase that purchase. And the Capital One Venture has a lower minimum spend, so you're going to only have to spend $3,000 in the first 3 months. That's just $1,000 per month. So one example I'll use for the Capital One, say you want to take a cruise for $900. Then you'd have to spend $700 a month on the card, and then you purchase the cruise sometime within that first 3 months for $900. And then there is your minimum spend. And then you can go into Capital One and find that cruise purchase and just take off all the points when they hit your account. So you're kind of getting that cruise for $400 instead of $900. It's very, very fantastic. This card also has a $95 annual fee, but you also get free global entry, which is $100 anyway. So you can either say it's canceling out that, or it's just taking the reward down to $400 or $500. The third card is one you're gonna have to time around a really big purchase, and it is the Chase Inc. Business Preferred. Now, you may have heard business in there and think, Jen, I don't have a business. Literally, you can say anything is a business. Do you babysit? Do you drive Uber? Do you make any money doing anything outside of your W-2 job? You can say it's a business. They're very, very forgiving. You don't have to put an EIN, which is an employer identification number. You can put your social security down. And honestly, I've done both. My first business card, I put down my EIN, and it took time, and I had to verify that I was a business in order to get approved. But then I put down my social security number and was instantly approved. So it's easier to get approved if you don't have an EIN. The reason I say you have to time this with a really big purchase though, is because the minimum spend is $15,000 in the first 3 months. That's not feasible for everyone. So this is a card you save until you have to do something really big that you can put on a credit card. And I always say sometimes you want to save it for home renovations or something. Sometimes those will cost 3% more if you try and put them on a credit card versus paying with a debit card. I never pay the 3% extra. I would always pay cash. So that's why when we did our windows, one of the questions we asked was, does that price include if we pay for it on a credit card? And the answer was yes. So we got to put our $8,000 home renovation on a credit card. And we immediately paid it off because we had the money, but we were able to get a minimum spend in literally 2 transactions because we had to split it up. So that is something to think about if you have a big purchase coming up that you have to make and you can put on a credit card. This is one to get, because after that $15,000 minimum spend, you're going to get 100,000 Chase Ultimate Rewards. 100,000. For the last card or 2, depending on how you do it, I don't have a set recommendation, but I kind of have 2. You're either going to want to pick a hotel or an airline at this point. So I usually say, if you can, go for the Southwest card. And here's why. In travel hacking, the most coveted travel reward of them all, the one to rule them all, is the Southwest Companion Pass. And essentially that is a pass that you earn either by taking 100 qualifying flights or getting 125,000 rapid reward points. And you can fly on any Southwest plane, BOGO. So you would get the flight, either pay for it or get it with points, and your companion on that companion pass flies free. And you can switch companions, I think, up to 4 times. So it doesn't have to be the same one every time. It is the best deal. It is the most coveted reward. So if you can get it, do it. But this one comes down to timing again. So when you get the Southwest Companion Pass, it's good for the entire year in which you earn it and the following year. So if I got this in January of 2021, I would fly for free, or my companion would fly for free with me for the rest of 2021 and 2022, almost 2 years. So when you sign up and get the pass matters because you want to get as many months as possible. And all 125,000 of your points or 100 of your flights have to be attained in 1 calendar year, January 1st to December 31st. So not just 1 year, 365 days, but 1 calendar year. So that's why when you're using credit cards to get the companion pass, you have to time it right so that your first bonus is received in January. So there's a window to starting on this method. It's between November and March. And if you start in November, you better make dang sure that you don't spend that $2,000 or $3,000 before December 31st, because then you lose out on that bonus. It doesn't count towards the next year. So you just have to be super cautious. So I usually would start in December if I could. The only time we've gotten it, we started in like March or something. So, but it was a lot lower to get it then too. All right, so here's how you do it. You can either do a 1-card method or a 2-card method. I recommend the 2-card method because the first is a business card that you have to spend $25,000 within 6 months. If you don't plan on doing that, then if you get a personal Southwest card and then a business Southwest card, not the other way around, personal then business, then you only have to spend $15,000 over 9 months. Much more manageable. If you start in January, then you should have it by September if you meet the spending qualifications. I'm not going to go into all of the details because it is a kind of complex process, but I have an article that this video is in. I'm linking to it in the description so you can get all of the rundown on all the cards and all my tips. If you don't fall in that November to March window and you want to get another card, then I recommend a hotel card, and you can pick one of two. I love Hyatt. It has the best redemption of any other hotel chain. It's just also one of the smallest, so there's not always a Hyatt where you're going, but you can get Hyatt rooms with points for so cheap. And they're a Chase partner, so you can transfer Ultimate Rewards over to Hyatt. It's so great. So I have the Hyatt credit card currently. It cannot be beat. We were able to get a 5-day all-inclusive resort vacation for absolutely free because we are Hyatt members with the Hyatt card and we had points. The only reason I would go with the Hilton over the Hyatt card is if first you're over the 5 for 25 rule with Chase, but if you're just starting out, you won't be there. But it's mainly if you have a lower credit score. So if your credit score is good instead of excellent, then you want to have a card that you can keep with you for a long period of time that doesn't have an annual fee. And there is a Hilton card from American Express without an annual fee. So that is specifically the one I'm recommending. So you can get that and you never have to cancel it because there's no annual fee. That builds your credit. Having a long credit history will build your credit versus when you're travel hacking and you cancel cards before the second annual fee comes up, that's gonna kind of start to lower your credit score a little bit, which doesn't matter if you have excellent credit, but if you don't, then it can be a little bit of a barrier. So that's why I would recommend the Hilton card. Now, if you're listening and your credit isn't high enough for any of these cards, don't worry. You can start building credit with a secured credit card. And my favorite way to find the best secured credit card for you is to go through Credible. Let me show you right now. The Credible page that will come up when you want to compare their credit cards. So if you are trying to build your credit, I don't recommend you look for their rewards credit cards. They have a pretty limited inventory, but you'll want to look at these secured and student cards. So if you are a student, definitely go with a student card. They've got lower limits so that you are not prone to racking up a big credit card debt that you can't pay back. But if you're not a student, then I recommend a secured card. So I'm just going to browse all cards. And then the first thing I'm going to go to is I'm going to click no annual fee. That's the most important thing because I don't want to pay any money to keep a card around and build my credit. I don't want to pay interest and I don't want to pay annual fees. And you want to have this card for as long as possible. It's going to build your credit history. And so if you don't have an excellent or good score, then you probably have a fair score. If you have a poor score, you are not going to want to start with credit cards. There's not going to be anything for you. But if you have a fair score, then right now Credible has one card that it recommends. It could be different when you come, but right now it's one, and it has no annual fee, which is great. And so the thing about a secured card is that it works like a debit card. So it's not a debit card, but you will put money down. So it's in your account like a debit account, but like a credit card, it helps you build credit. So your max, you put down 200, then your limit is 200, and you will spend 190, pay off $190 and do that for a couple months. Keep doing that. You can maybe put in an extra $100, so your limit is $300, pay $290 for the month, and then immediately pay that off. Again, you have to pay it off every month for this to work because the interest rate on this is pretty high. And so it's just not worth it to pay interest or fees to build your credit. And so this is what I recommend to get started, and then going up to a no annual fee unsecured card. So that's every other card. And we have 2 more cards, or 3 cards if you're in the good range. So it's always good to have a no annual fee unsecured credit card and keep that with you forever to build your credit as well. So you want to start out with something that's no annual fee so you can build your credit history and build a history of on time and in full payments. Credible.com, and I will put a link in the description that will take you to this portal. I hope that was helpful. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this, and please let me know in the comments what your travel hacking strategy is or what vacation you would like to attempt to save for with points. We made it a goal to get that all-inclusive resort vacation, so we were very strategic in the cards we got so that we could do that. And that's kind of the best bang for your buck when you're starting travel hacking, is to have a vacation in mind that you are going for. So good luck out there, and I hope there is more traveling soon.